Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Sunday Messages, as always. And once again, no podcast submissions at all. So I'm riffing today. We're going to do a collective prayer. There's no prayer requests. And we'll pull some tarot, have a good conversation. You know the drill. So let's just settle in for a moment. I'm going to tap into the collective prayer, whatever it is that you all are needing in this moment. I'm in full agreement for connectivity, for you to feel connected to those around you, for you to feel connected to yourself, for you to feel connection with source, for you to just feel deep layers of consistent connection within yourself. I'm in full agreement for you to recognize your own power and for you to understand that you truly are a creator in this life. You are in charge. You have the wheel in your hands. Like letting yourself just feel into mastery around that, or a deeper layer of mastery within your own creation. Full agreement for that. Full agreement for you to allow it to be easy, for you to no longer conform to the paradigm of efforting and instead allow yourself to receive, to let it be easy, to let it flow into your life, to allow yourself to become more magnetic than you ever have before. Full agreement for that. Full agreement for you to feel as though you are good at doing life. So not just being tossed around in the current, but really sinking your teeth into the life experience that you have and fully enjoying the process of being embodied, enjoying yourself, enjoying your life, enjoying what you have going on around you, and just feeling this love of being alive. I'm in full agreement for everyone to connect to that as well. Full agreement, full agreement, full agreement. Awesome. Okay, so the other thing that I want to remind you of is just some stuff that I have going on right now. So the first class for Slut Magic starts this week. This week, we are getting started. And I also want to remind you that the price is going up on November 1st. So if you want to get in, if you want to get into this payment plan, if you want to get in at this price, get in now. And so if you don't know, Slut Magic is structured in the same way that Money Magic is. So it's a membership area in the back end of my website. So you have your own portal. All the replays are there, all the materials are there, all of that good stuff. And it's ongoing. So it's not a container that opens and closes. It just opens. And then once you're in, you're in. And I keep adding to it over time. So it's going to grow over time and the price will go up over time because it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. The modules that I have listed on Slut Magic are not even the exhaustive list of the things that I have. Those are just the ones that are fully solidified now, but I have other things that I'm going to be adding to that class. I'm very, very excited. I've wanted to teach this for so long. And if you're interested in intimacy, pleasure, sexuality, all things taboo and body modification, then definitely check out Slut Magic. That is for you. And I'm going to do a podcast episode. It might already be out or it might be out after you're listening to this. So make sure you check that out if you feel inspired. If you want to do deeper work in a mastermind with me, check out the Nightery. That's the direction that I would go for that. If you want to be in my world, if you want more one-on-one access type of thing, it's group access, but it's the closest thing to one-on-one that I have available. The Nightery is for you. So Speaking of masterminds, what is coming up? And I've been wanting to talk about this because it came up in a mastermind conversation yesterday. Now, one of the things that I've been working on with a client is moving into solidifying a romantic relationship and really getting the man that she wants. Like, that's been a big conversation that we've been having for several months. And so I've been working with her on making this happen and like shifting into it and actually creating this relationship. And things have really been moving. They have a trip to Rome booked, all good things. There's all sorts of movement going on. Okay, so things are going well, things are going well, things are going well. And we were talking yesterday about all of this, and we were talking in Voxer, and she was giving me all these updates. And one of the things that I ended up saying was like, let this be a reminder to everyone in the group. Want what you want. Want what you want. Want it fully. Let yourself go there. Because the thing is, if you're constantly battling with your own desires and you're like, I want it, but I'm uncomfortable and I have all these reasons why I shouldn't want it. And that just feels crappy across the board. And so it's like, instead of putting yourself in a position where you feel like you need to change what you want, or you need to, find another avenue in order to get like some scraps of what you want, or dimming down your desire. It's like, just freaking want it. Let yourself want it. Let yourself want it. Let yourself want it. Let yourself want it. Just let yourself go there fully. And it's better for you to just get on board with what you want. For God's sakes, get on board with it emotionally and mentally and energetically. Go there. Just do it. Instead of trying to talk yourself out of your desires and tormenting yourself, or making a case for why you shouldn't and feeling horrible about it the entire time. Because we talked about this in early 2021. I did a podcast episode called Jump. And one of the things that I talked about is when you ignore your soul for longer, the more you suffer. So if your soul is over here saying, come on, let's do this, let's go, let's jump, let's make this move, let's do this thing, whatever that might be, and you are continually talking yourself out of it and shrinking down, the tension just gets so massive over time that it feels painful. And this is why people associate desires with suffering. It's because of the tension being experienced in your wanting is really big and you're fighting that like hell, and that's not going to work. And so this entire thing, this entire conversation that I was having with her was just a reflection of that. Like, instead of trying to contort yourself into justifying why you shouldn't, why you can't, why it's impractical, let's just get on board with the desire. That's going to expedite this entire process. And so you may know that one of the things why I even created DOM, that class that I talk about endlessly, was because I, in 2021, really abandoned the idea of free will. Totally abandoned it. That's a bit extreme, but I had to completely let that go because it was getting in the way of my creations. And so now that's not a factor that I fight against, because I understand how that works in terms of the energetics, like the piece where that lives energetically, it has shifted for me. So instead of just being in this position where I'm constantly using other people's free will as a reason to justify why I'm not getting what I want, or this person is being difficult or whatever. I had to completely cut that part out and create a new way of perceiving it and experiencing it and relating to other people, circumstances, events, situations, so on and so forth. And so one of the things that can be really scary for a lot of people is the practice of want what you want. Want what you want. But there's a couple things that are going to nag you. And that would be, like I said, talking against it, justifying against it, making a case for why not. Then the second thing is trying to focus on how. How is, it's one of those things that it can be supportive in limited quantities. Okay, so it's okay to have a teaspoon of that, but you don't want 5 gallons of it. You know what I'm saying? So I think the how component of all of this needs to either feel expansive, it needs to feel good, it needs to feel fun, or it's one of those things that you simply can't worry about, that you can't focus on. If the how doesn't feel fun, to ponder how. So for example, if you wanted, let's just take money as an example. If you wanted to stretch your mind into more money, then focusing on how could money get to me and listing all of the possible ways, even the crazy ways, the absolutely unrealistic ways that money could get to you, could be a helpful exercise just to stretch your mind around what is possible and get you into the energy of, oh yeah, and then it could come that way, and it could come that way, and it could come that way. So it can open up your vision around what is possible. Focusing on a how like that can be really beneficial. But generally speaking, for the vast majority of people, focusing on how is more of a hindrance than a magic carpet, so to speak. It's usually the thing that is going to bog everything down, because when you start getting trapped in how, it distorts your perception of time. Because when you're thinking about individual steps rather than what you want, now you're going to feel like this thing getting to you is going to take an eternity, because the how is just so labor intensive when you're really looking at it. So that's the piece that, unless it feels fun, unless it feels supportive, unless it's an activity to stretch your mind or something that feels good, it's not wise territory to be treading in. And wanting what you want just makes this go faster. Everyone wants to go fast. Am I right? Do we not all want to speed along our paths? Don't we all want to go faster than we ever have before? It's fun. It's fun because the reason why we enjoy speed, what it is it's not the destination. It is, how much goodness can I allow into one lifetime? How many good things, how fast can I go to the point where there's so many opportunities and so many experiences that flow into my experience, one right after the other? That's what speed provides, because you're always going to be on your way to the next manifestation. You're endless, you're insatiable. You're always going to be that way. That's the deal with being incarnated. And so as you're doing that, the speed is about experience and pleasure. How much pleasure can I allow into my life? How many experiences can I allow in? How many opportunities can I tap into? And just allowing more and more and more and more and more. That's where the magic really comes from. So speed is good. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And I'll even go as far as to say, you don't need to be patient. Patience sucks. I've talked about this. I wrote a bunch of posts on Instagram about it a while back, a few months ago. But just like patience isn't necessarily going to serve you if it's coming from the energy of it's not happening. Like then there's no point in being patient because your energy is all twisted up into some energetic spaces that you don't want to be dancing with in the quantum field. So patience is outdated. We don't know her. Okay. We need to do something else with the energy of the liminal space. And part of how we go faster is by getting over the hump of, again, trying to talk yourself out of wanting what you want. I see so many people just get stuck there. Like in that one step, I'm like, okay, just get to the point where you can want it and you feel free to want it. And it's like, no, but worthiness. Ugh, if you guys know about unworthiness, I did a podcast on that, like why that's ridiculous. And then it's, well, it's not realistic and there's all these other things and I want to focus on how, and my brain can't comprehend how this is going to come to be. And it's like, Jesus Christ, just want it. Just want it. Like give yourself permission. Let that be the thing that you do this week. Want what you want it. Yeah, it feels good to want that. I like the idea of that. It would be great to have that. And I'm really excited to see the next step unfold for me on the path to that. I'm moving in that direction. If you try to talk yourself out of this, you're just slowing yourself down. And I know that you desire to move faster. So just let yourself go faster. But I think there are a lot of people who are listening to this who just need that piece where it's like that one element of you simply not allowing yourself to want what you want and trying to talk yourself out of it in any capacity is the piece. Like that's one major piece that you want to address. So let that be the practice for you. Let yourself feel comfortable with wanting. Feel comfortable desiring. Feel comfortable focusing on things that are quote unquote unrealistic. Let yourself go there because, here's the other piece. Anything that is a creation beyond what is going to be unrealistic. If being realistic is I'm just looking at what's happening now, then you're done. You've already killed the manifestation. In terms of if you're saying, well, I need to be realistic, so I need to just look at what's happening now, you're not allowing space for change. You're not allowing space for anything new. So any desire for more, desire for evolution, desire for change is unrealistic because it forces you to look away from what you have going on in present time. So the whole thing is unrealistic. Any desire is going to be unrealistic. Any change from what you're experiencing right now, you can make a case for why it's unrealistic. So you're going to have to get over that. Get over it. Are you going to create or not? Are you powerful or not? Do you believe that you're connected to God or not? Pick one, because you can't have it both ways. So it's just let yourself go faster this week. Let yourself not know how. Let yourself be unrealistic. Let yourself just accept that you want it and be okay with that. Yes, I want it. That's it. Nothing more to say about it. And that alone will start to bring movement, momentum, progress, all good things. So try it out. Let me know how it goes. Just try it. You have nothing to lose. Nothing bad is going to happen if you just want what you want. Oh, and disappointment, you're going to have to just allow yourself to be resilient. Don't cozy up to disappointment, but also it's not going to kill you. So it's nothing to fear. People make such a ridiculous. I have a podcast episode about that too. So if you're feeling like I need to go address the disappointment thing, I explain why it's ridiculous. The whole disappointment thing. Go listen to that podcast episode. I think I put it out last summer or fall. That's going to be audio only, just so you know. Okay, let's pull tarot. Isn't it funny that I have so many podcasts now that I'm like, oh yeah, and then this topic, I did an episode on that. Oh yeah, and I did an episode on that. Oh yeah, go listen to that. It's like I have a big library of topics now. Okay, what's coming up this week? 3 of coins. I'm curious to see what kind of work this is, because there is an element of effort and also collaboration. So I'm curious to see, well, what kind of work? What kind of energetic expenditure? Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So getting comfortable with the unknown space. Because the Wheel of Fortune has this energy of so many different things could happen. There's so many possibilities. I don't know what's going to happen next, right? That's what the Wheel of Fortune has this essence of. And so your work is being comfortable in the unknown, being comfortable in the void, allowing yourself to not know how or when or who, maintaining an unconditional emotional state within a space of that's completely empty, or in that liminal space. And that's, I feel like that's everyone's work. I can't see it, but I still have to take myself there energetically. And then, yeah, we have the Fool, risk. And there's also this other piece coming through about letting yourself be foolish. Not as in I'm doing stupid things and I'm being irresponsible. It's not about that. It's let yourself not be so rational and logical. And for a lot of people, it's like, well, if that's the gold standard, if being logical and realistic is the gold standard for so many people, and then, yeah, deviating from that is something that can feel foolish. It can feel like a pipe dream. I talk about this a lot. And this is also why I like to use what I'm calling magical language, or giving energetic work the essence of it being a magical experience, because it lightens it up. Because it's like, okay, it's really not that deep. It just gets to be fun. You're here for fun. You may as well just allow yourself to enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself, dream bigger, get more comfortable, cozy up with your desires, not disappointment. Get nice and comfortable with the liminal space. Joe Dispenza talks about this, the unknown. If you want something different, you've got to go there. You've got to let yourself be in that unknown space. And that's where the goods come from. The known, the familiar, well, if that's not exactly what you want, if you don't want that to keep happening, then you have to go into the unknown. Those are the two options. That's what the Wheel of Fortune is all about. It's the unknown space. It's so interesting, these two. Okay, here's the whole story. Your work is to witness the void, be comfortable with the void, and go into it anyway. Capitalize on it anyway. Feel into it anyway. Go there anyway. So there's this taking risk, getting out of what's familiar, wanting what you want, abandoning what is safe and comfortable for your mind and for your ego. And I also want to remind you that this feels it's always expanding no matter how much good stuff you manifest in your life, because there's always more. So as you're expanding and evolving, there's going to be the next space that is unknown. You could have all the money in the world and still want more. And so all of that unknown space, I want more. And so I have to take myself there first. So there's just this endless progression of I want. And all of these things that I want are carrying me into unknown territory. And so it's a constant journey into this unknown liminal space. All of it is like that. You're never not going to have a void sitting out in front of you. It's always there. You're always walking into it. And if you're not, then you'll experience some life that is going to push you into wanting more, and you're going to have to walk into it anyway. So just allow yourself to make this easier on yourself. Capitalize on it. Use it. Appreciate it. Feel into letting it be fun. Let it be where all the magic lives. Right? So that's where all the good stuff is going to come from. All the magic, all the surprises, all the pleasurable things that you're desiring, all of it's there. All right. All right, my friends, that is everything for now. Do not forget, if you want to check out Slut Magic, it is going to be so much fun. We start this week, and there's just a lot coming with that. So this is a great time to get in. And also, I also want to add, I have gift cards available. So if you're wanting something for Christmas, if you're like, oh my God, I've been wanting some of this stuff. I want to get in Dom, or I want to get in Money Magic, or I want Slut Magic, or whatever. I have gift cards available on my website. So I'll put the link. I think it's on the classes page, but I'll make it clear in the description box and show notes, like gift cards at the bottom of this page. So if you want, that's also available to you. And have a beautiful week. That's all I've got. I will see you next time. Have a good one. I love you all, and I will see you later.